Welcome back to our second episode of Wodwo Dives into Data Science with Joe Godfrey. If you missed our first video in this series, head over to our YouTube channel or LinkedIn page videos, and you can watch it there about why, if you're a marketer, you should adopt automated customer modeling into your strategy ASAP. Big welcome again to Joe Godfrey, expert data scientist at Dataline.
Hey, it's great to be back. Thanks.
Joe, we've been receiving some questions about which set of data is more beneficial for marketers, buyer data or browser data. What do you say?
Well, my first part of the answer would be what's the question? What are you after? Fundamentally, I'm gonna side with buyer data because we're interested in the behavior that's the action you're seeking, which is presumably people to buy your product or service. Browser data has value in terms of engagement. So if your challenge is to build engagement with your customer, then you'd be interested in browser data. But if you're interested in conversions and making sales, then the buyer behavior is what you're after. And so what you're then wanting is transactional data that shows customers buying either your product or service or similar products and service so that you would then build a lookalike model.
And what is RFM and how does that play into this?
Well, RFM is an acronym for recency, frequency, and monetary. And it's a fundamental principle in marketing that recency is a major driver for behavior. So if you've recently done something, the chances are you're going to do it again. And particularly in terms of consumer behavior, if you've recently made a purchase, you're likely to make a purchase again recently. And that's just to get started. That's the major driver, recency. Then frequency is important as well. This is how frequently you make a purchase. Obviously, there's going to be a relationship. If you're buying stuff recently and then recently again and again and again, it's going to be frequent. But that's the other thing that you're looking for is frequency, so that you've got people that are actively engaged in making purchases. And then finally, there's monetary, because ultimately you're trying to make some money. So you're interested in people that are spending money, and the more the better, so to speak, for your products.
So if I'm understanding all of this correctly, it sounds like buyer data is the winner, right?
Definitely buyer data, because that's the behavior that presumably you're seeking. You're trying to get customers for your product or service. And so you're looking for the behavior. That's what you want to identify and promote to, is that behavior. You want to encourage that behavior. When someone visits your website, it may just be by accident. They may have chanced on it. They just may be curious. They're not necessarily, they may be getting engaged, but they're not necessarily making that commitment. There's intent there, but not commitment. So with the transactional data, you're seeing commitment. You're seeing that the customer has engaged with you and committed to buying the product.
Well, Joe, as always, thank you for your insights. And to the viewers for watching, and stay tuned for future episodes of Wodwo Dives into Data Science with Joe Godfrey. If you haven't already, follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And do you have a burning question about data science? Leave us a comment or send us a message, and we'll include it in our upcoming episodes with Joe.